This theme helps develop an understanding of the meaning of globalization. It will then go on to explore ways in which firms expand into new markets and move to new locations for production, alongside looking at the issues relating to global trade and growth, and the trade policies that shape the global economy. Multinational corporations figure significantly in this theme, along with the study of global labor markets, poverty, inequality, and income distribution. Students will apply supply and demand analysis to the labor market as they see how wages are determined and look at other influences on the rewards of labor.
Success in business requires dynamism and flexibility, which must include technical excellence, sensitivity to market trends, and imaginative thinking. Growth is the expansion of a company's operations, typically measured by increased revenue, market share, or the size of its workforce. There are many objectives of growth, but also many problems that can come from it, with corporate culture helping achieve growth and prevent any issues. There are many objectives of growth, including achieve economies of scale, increase market power over consumers and suppliers, increase market share and brand recognition, and increased profitability. Economies of scale occur when a business experiences a reduction in average costs as it increases its output as their fixed costs are spread across more units. Internal economies of scale arise from cost-saving efficiencies within the business, such as bulk buying or improved technology, while external economies of scale occur from benefits gained due to the industry's growth, such as improved infrastructure or supplier networks. A business may aim to achieve economies of scale, as this reduces average costs and improves efficiency, enhancing competitiveness and profitability. Market power is a business's ability to influence prices or terms of trade in its favor, which can be increased through growth that strengthens its dominance over consumers and suppliers. Market power over consumers allows a business to set higher prices due to reduced competition, while market power over supplies enables the business to negotiate lower input costs or better terms. A business may pursue increased market power over consumers and suppliers in order to charge higher prices and lower its costs, maximizing profitability. Market share is the percentage of total sales in an industry that a business controls, which can be increased by attracting more customers through competitive pricing, improved products, or effective marketing strategies. Brand recognition is the extent to which consumers can identify a brand based on its name, logo, or attributes, and it can be increased through consistent marketing, quality products, and a strong presence in the market. A business may aim to increase market share and brand recognition as this attracts more customers, builds loyalty, and strengthens its competitive position. Profitability is the ability of a business to generate more revenue than costs, and it can be increased by boosting sales, reducing costs, or improving operational efficiency, which is the ability to produce goods or services with the least amount of resources while maintaining quality. A business may aim to increase profitability as higher profits improve financial stability, fund expansion, and enhance shareholder value. There are many problems that can come from growth, including diseconomies of scale, internal communication, and potential skills shortages. Diseconomies of scale occur when a business's cost per unit increases as it grows beyond an optimal size, often due to inefficiencies in management or coordination. Diseconomies of scale are an issue for businesses as they lead to higher costs and reduced efficiency as the business grows too large, negatively impacting profitability. Diseconomies of scale can be prevented by maintaining efficient management practices, improving internal communication, and ensuring the business does not grow beyond its capacity to manage effectively. Internal communication in a business refers to the exchange of information, ideas, and feedback between employees, departments, and management to ensure smooth operations and alignment of goals. Internal communication may become an issue with growth as the increased size and complexity of the business can lead to misunderstandings, delays, and difficulty in maintaining clear and efficient information flow. Issues with internal communication can be prevented by implementing structured communication channels, regular updates, and effective management systems to ensure information flows clearly and efficiently across all levels. Potential skills shortages occur when a business struggles to find employees with the necessary expertise or qualifications to meet its growing needs. Potential skills shortages are an issue for businesses because they can prevent growth, reduce productivity, and limit the ability to innovate or maintain high-quality standards. Potential skills shortages can be prevented by investing in training and development, fostering strong recruitment strategies, and building partnerships with educational institutions to create a skilled talent pipeline. Corporate culture is the shared values, beliefs, behaviors, and practices that shape how employees interact and work together within a business. The role of corporate culture in business growth is to foster a positive work environment, encourage employee engagement, and align organizational values, all of which drive productivity, innovation, and customer satisfaction. Corporate culture increases growth by creating a motivated, cohesive workforce that is committed to the company's goals, leading to improved efficiency, innovation, and customer loyalty. Corporate culture can prevent issues from growth by promoting adaptability, strong communication, and collaborative environment that supports change and helps manage challenges effectively. There are many methods of growth, each being used for a different reason, with their own benefits and drawbacks. There are two types of growth, which are organic and inorganic. Organic growth, or internal growth, is the expansion of a business through increasing its own operations, such as expanding product lines, improving processes, or increasing sales. A business may choose internal growth to maintain control over its operations, avoid the risks associated with mergers or acquisitions, and develop its abilities gradually and sustainably. The benefits of organic growth are that it allows a business to expand steadily and sustainably, maintaining control and minimizing risks associated with mergers or acquisitions. The drawbacks of organic growth are that it can be slow and may limit the business's ability to quickly scale or access new markets compared to inorganic methods. Inorganic growth, or external growth, is the expansion of a business through mergers, acquisitions, or partnerships. A business might choose to use inorganic growth to rapidly expand its market reach, acquire new technology, or gain competitive advantages through mergers, acquisitions, or partnerships. The benefits of inorganic growth are that it allows a business to expand quickly, enter new markets, and gain resources or expertise that would take longer to develop internally. The drawbacks of inorganic growth are that it can be risky due to integration challenges, cultural clashes, and the high costs associated with mergers and acquisitions. There are three types of integration, which are horizontal integration, vertical integration, and conglomerate integration. Horizontal integration is a growth strategy where a business acquires or merges with other companies at the same level of the supply chain, often in the same industry. A business might use horizontal integration to expand its market share, reduce competition, and achieve economies of scale by combining with or acquiring similar companies in the same industry. Vertical integration is a strategy where a business expands its operations by acquiring or merging with companies at different stages of the supply chain, from production to distribution. Forward's vertical integration occurs when a business expands its operations by acquiring or merging with companies closer to the end consumer, such as distributors or retailers. A business might use forward vertical integration to gain more control over distribution, improve customer access, and increase profitability by capturing a larger share of the supply chain. Backwards vertical integration occurs when a business expands its operations by acquiring or merging with companies that supply raw materials or components, gaining more control over its supply. A business might use backwards vertical integration to secure a reliable supply of materials, reduce costs, and gain greater control over the quality and timing of production. Conglomerate integration is a strategy where a business acquires or merges with companies in unrelated industries, diversifying its operations and reducing risks relying on a single market. A business might use conglomerate integration to diversify its portfolio, reduce risk by entering different markets, and enhance financial stability through exposure to various industries. Research and development is the process of investigating and developing new products, services, or processes to improve existing offerings or create entirely new ones. Innovation is the process of creating new or improved products, services, or processes that offer unique value to customers and differentiate a business from its competitors. Competitive advantage refers to the attributes or conditions that allow a business to outperform its competitors and deliver superior value to its customers. A business can gain a competitive advantage through innovation by developing unique products, services, or processes that meet customer needs more effectively than competitors. Firms can increase market power through research and development and innovation by creating superior products or technologies, allowing them to dominate their market and influence prices. Research and development and innovation can provide businesses with the tools to offer differentiated products, leading to customer loyalty and higher market control, which increases their market power. Product innovation involves the creation of new or improved products that offer enhanced features, performance, or value to meet customer demands. Product innovation benefits businesses by attracting new customers, increasing sales, and helping to differentiate their offerings from competitors. Process innovation refers to the improvement of business operations, production methods, or distribution systems to increase efficiency and reduce costs. Process innovation benefits businesses by lowering production costs, improving quality, and enhancing operational efficiency, leading to higher profitability. State funding is financial support provided by the government to businesses, institutions, or initiatives to stimulate growth, innovation, or development in specific sectors. The state may fund research and development to foster innovation, support economic growth, improve competitiveness, and address societal challenges or market failures. State funding in research and development supports businesses by providing resources to develop new technologies or products, encouraging innovation that benefits the economy and society. The product lifecycle is the series of stages. A product goes through from development and introduction to growth, maturity, and eventual decline. The research and development stage involves designing and testing a new product or idea before it is introduced to the market. The introduction stage is when the product is launched and marketing efforts focus on building awareness and generating initial sales. The growth stage is characterized by increasing sales, market acceptance, and the expansion of distribution channels. The maturity stage occurs when sales growth slows and the product reaches its peak market penetration, with competition intensifying. The decline stage is when sales decrease due to market saturation, technological advancements, or changing customer preferences. Extension strategies are methods businesses use to prolong the life of a product in its maturity stage, such as rebranding, targeting new markets, or introducing product variations. A business would use extension strategies to maintain or increase sales, delay product decline, and maximize profitability before the product becomes obsolete. The digital economy refers to an economy based on digital technologies, including the internet, electronic commerce, and digital communication systems, which impact business operations and consumer behavior. The digital economy improves market information through price comparison sites, viral marketing, and social media, providing consumers with more data, options, and feedback to make informed decisions. Price comparison sites are online platforms that allow consumers to compare prices of products or services from different suppliers to find the best deals. Price comparison sites improve market information by offering transparent and easy access to prices, helping consumers make more informed purchasing decisions. Viral marketing is a marketing strategy where content, such as videos or campaigns, spreads rapidly online through social sharing, creating widespread awareness of a product or service. Viral marketing improves market information by generating widespread attention and feedback, allowing consumers to learn about products or services quickly through social networks. Social media refers to platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, used by companies to engage with customers, promote products, and gather feedback. Social media improves market information by enabling businesses to share updates, promotions, and engage directly with customers, providing real-time insights and feedback. The digital economy affects the supply side by enabling micro-marketing, online retailing, online distribution, and the recruitment and training of staff with digital skills, enhancing efficiency and reaching new customers. Micro-marketing is a marketing strategy that targets a small, specific segment of customers based on personal characteristics or behaviors, often using digital tools. Micro-marketing affects the supply side by allowing businesses to tailor products, services, and marketing campaigns to specific consumer needs, improving efficiency and targeting. Online retail and distribution refer to the buying and selling of goods and services through online platforms, along with the associated distribution methods that deliver products to consumers. Online retail and distribution affect the supply side by reducing overhead costs, expanding market reach, and providing efficient methods for businesses to manage inventory and deliver products. Recruiting and training staff with digital skills involves hiring employees proficient in digital tools and technologies and providing them with training to enhance their digital capabilities in the workplace. Recruiting and training staff with digital skills enhances the supply side by improving productivity, enabling businesses to make use of new technologies, and ensuring they remain competitive in the digital economy. The digital economy affects the demand side by enabling businesses to satisfy customer needs through the long tail of products and accessing wider geographical markets, offering more choices and convenience to consumers. The long tail refers to the strategy of offering a large number of niche products in online stores that individually sell in low quantities but collectively generate substantial sales, allowing the business to sell their more popular products in their physical stores, which is more cost-effective. Customers are satisfied with the long tail by having access to a wide variety of specialized products that may not be available in traditional retails, catering to diverse interests and needs. The long tail affects the demand side by providing consumers with more options and the ability to find products that cater to their specific preferences, even if they are niche items. Wider geographical markets refer to the ability of businesses to reach customers in different regions or countries, expanding their potential customer base beyond local markets. The digital economy helps reach wider geographical markets by providing businesses with online platforms and digital tools to promote and sell products to consumers around the world. The digital economy helps businesses tap into global markets, offering consumers access to a broader range of products, competitive prices, and diverse options from anywhere in the world. The digital economy impacts markets and firms by influencing costs, prices, profits, and losses, and driving both firm creation and destruction due to changing business environments. The digital economy can lower costs, allow businesses to adjust prices more dynamically, increase profits through broader market reach, and potentially cause losses if firms cannot adapt to new digital trends. On the wider market, the digital economy can lower overall costs, reduce prices, increase competition, and influence the profitability of firms, leading to more market efficiency and shifting profit dynamics. The digital economy helps with firm creation by lowering entry barriers, providing access to global markets, and offering cost-effective tools for startups to establish and grow their businesses. The digital economy can cause firm destruction by disrupting traditional business models, increasing competition, and forcing companies that fail to innovate or adapt to become obsolete. Small firms compete in competitive markets by focusing on product differentiation, flexibility, customer service, targeting niche markets, and building strong relationships with stakeholders to achieve a competitive advantage. Product differentiation refers to making a product stand out from competitors by offering unique features, while unique selling points are the specific qualities that make the product attractive to consumers. Product differentiation and unique selling points help small firms compete by allowing them to offer something unique that meets specific customer needs, making them more appealing in competitive markets. Flexibility in responding to customer needs involves adapting quickly to changes in demand or preferences, and a firm can do this by offering customized products or services and being quick in adjusting operations. Being flexible helps a small firm compete by ensuring they can quickly address customer requests, improve satisfaction, and create loyalty, giving them an edge over less responsive competitors. Customer service refers to the assistance and support a company provides to its customers before, during, and after a purchase to ensure satisfaction and resolve issues. Improving customer service helps a small firm compete by improving customer loyalty, encouraging repeat business, and generating positive word of mouth, which can lead to a larger customer base. Mass markets refer to broad consumer segments with general needs where products are designed to appeal to a large, diverse audience. Niche markets are specific segments of the market that target a particular group of consumers with specialized needs, interests, or preferences. Targeting niche markets helps a small firm compete by allowing them to focus on specific customer needs, reducing competition, and offering tailored products or services that larger firms may overlook. A business can achieve a competitive advantage through strong relationships with stakeholders by creating trust, collaboration, and loyalty, leading to better resources, opportunities, and support. Achieving competitive advantage through relationships with stakeholders helps a small firm compete by ensuring access to valuable resources, feedback, and partnerships that strengthen their position in the market. Measuring consumer response to changes in prices and incomes helps firms make price, product, and output decisions. Price elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of quantity demanded to a change in price. The significance of price elasticity of demand for firms in niche markets when setting prices is that they often face an elastic demand, allowing them to increase prices without significantly reducing sales. The significance of price elasticity of demand for firms in mass markets when setting prices is that they often face elastic demand, meaning price increases can lead to a significant fall in sales, requiring careful pricing strategies. Price elasticity of demand is calculated by dividing the percentage change in quantity demanded by the percentage change in price. If the numerical value of price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, demand is price elastic, meaning quantity demanded changes more than price. If the numerical value of price elasticity of demand is less than 1, demand is price inelastic, meaning quantity demanded changes less than price. If the numerical value of price elasticity of demand is equal to 1, demand is unitary elastic, meaning quantity demanded changes by the same percentage as price. If the numerical value of price elasticity of demand is 0, demand is perfectly inelastic, meaning quantity demanded remains unchanged regardless of price changes. If the numerical value of price elasticity of demand is infinite, demand is perfectly elastic, meaning any increase in price causes demand to drop to 0. There are many factors that influence price elasticity of demand, including the number of substitutes, the closeness of substitutes, whether it is a luxury or necessity, the time scale, brand loyalty, advertisement, and the addictiveness of the product. The number of substitutes influences price elasticity of demand because the more substitutes available, the more elastic demand becomes as consumers can switch to alternatives. The closeness of substitutes influences price elasticity of demand because the closer the substitutes, the more elastic demand is as consumers are more likely to switch when prices rise. Luxury or necessity influences price elasticity of demand because luxuries tend to have elastic demand, while necessities tend to have an elastic demand since consumers continue purchasing essential goods despite price changes. The time scale influences price elasticity of demand because demand is more elastic in the long run as consumers have more time to find alternatives. Brand loyalty influences price elasticity of demand because strong brand loyalty makes demand more inelastic, reducing sensitivity to price changes. Advertisement influences price elasticity of demand because effective advertising can make demand more inelastic by increasing brand recognition and customer attachment. How addictive the product is influences price elasticity of demand because highly addictive products have an elastic demand as consumers continue purchasing despite price increases. The relationship between price elasticity of demand and total revenue is that when demand is price elastic, increasing price decreases total revenue, whereas when demand is price inelastic, increasing price increases total revenue. There are many strategies that a business can use to compete on price and many factors that influence the use of these strategies. A pricing strategy is the method a business uses to set the price of its products or services, and it affects demand by influencing consumer purchasing decisions. The pricing strategies are cost-plus pricing, price skimming, penetration pricing, predatory pricing, competitive pricing, and psychological pricing. Cost-plus pricing is when a business adds a percentage markup to the cost of production, and it affects demand by ensuring profitability but may lead to uncompetitive prices if costs are high. Price skimming is when a business initially sets a high price before gradually lowering it, and it affects demand by attracting early adopters while maximizing revenue from customers willing to pay more. Penetration pricing is when a business sets a low initial price to attract customers and gain market share, and it affects demand by increasing sales volume quickly but may reduce profitability in the short term. Predatory pricing is when a business sets extremely low prices to drive competitors out of the market, and it affects demand by making products more attractive to consumers but can lead to reduced competition. Competitive pricing is when a business sets prices based on competitors' prices, and it affects demand by ensuring that customers are not lost to rival firms due to price differences. Psychological pricing is when a business sets prices to influence consumer perception, such as using £9.99 instead of £10, and it affects demand by making products appear cheaper and more attractive. The factors that determine the most appropriate pricing strategy for a particular firm and situation include the number of unique selling points, amount of differentiation, price elasticity of demand, amount of competition, strength of brand, stage in the product life cycle, costs, and the need to make a profit. Unique selling points are the features of a product or service that make it stand out from competitors. Differentiation is the process of making a product or service distinct from competitors through unique features, branding, or quality. Unique selling points and differentiation determine the pricing strategy that a business uses because highly differentiated products can be sold at higher prices, while less differentiated products may require competitive pricing. Price elasticity of demand affects the pricing strategy that a business uses because products with an elastic demand can be priced higher, while products with elastic demand require more competitive pricing. The amount of competition affects the pricing strategy that a business uses because high competition forces businesses to set lower or competitive prices, while low competition allows for premium pricing. The strength of the brand refers to how well-known, trusted, and valued a brand is by consumers. The strength of the brand affects the pricing strategy that a business uses because strong brands can charge premium prices due to customer loyalty and perceived quality. The product life cycle is the process a product goes through from introduction to decline, and it affects the pricing strategy that a business uses because different stages require different approaches, such as price skimming during introduction and competitive pricing during maturity. Cost and the need to make a profit refer to the expenses incurred in production and the necessity for a business to generate revenue above these costs. Cost and the need to make a profit affect the pricing strategy that a business uses because businesses must set prices high enough to cover costs and generate profit while remaining attractive to consumers. Online sales and price comparison sites allow consumers to compare prices across different retailers, making pricing more transparent and competitive. Online sales and comparison sites show social trends and affect changes in pricing by increasing price sensitivity among consumers and forcing businesses to adjust prices dynamically. Changes in pricing reflect social trends by responding to consumer behavior, economic conditions, and technological advancements, such as increased demand for sustainable products, leading to premium pricing. Non-price competition is a marketing strategy where businesses differentiate their products or services through factors like quality, branding, customer service, and advertising rather than competing on price. Marketing affects demand by influencing consumer preferences through product differentiation, advertising, and other promotional methods and distribution strategies. Product differentiation is the process of making a product stand out from competitors, which increases demand by attracting customers who perceive it as unique or superior. Advertising increases demand by informing potential customers about a product and persuading them to purchase it. Sponsorships increase demand by associating a product with popular events, individuals, or organizations, enhancing brand recognition and credibility. Product trials increase demand by allowing consumers to test a product before purchase, reducing uncertainty and encouraging sales. Branding increases demand by creating a strong identity and reputation, leading to customer loyalty and repeat purchases. Special offers increase demand by providing short-term incentives, such as discounts or promotions, which encourage immediate purchases. Technology and promotion increase demand by using digital tools, such as social media and targeted ads, to reach and engage a larger audience. The different distribution methods a business can use include direct distribution, wholesalers, retailers, e-commerce, and multi-channel distribution. Direct distribution increases demand by allowing businesses to sell directly to consumers, often reducing costs and increasing control over branding and customer experience. Wholesalers increase demand by making products available in bulk to retailers, ensuring widespread availability and cost-effective distribution. Retailers increase demand by providing consumers with easy access to products in physical stores where they can see and purchase items immediately. E-commerce increases demand by enabling online purchases, making products available to a global market with convenience and ease of access. Multi-channel distribution increases demand by combining different methods, such as online and in-store sales, to maximize reach and customer convenience. Marketing is the process of promoting and selling products or services by identifying and satisfying customer needs. The different marketing approaches a business can take include market-led, product-led, and asset-led marketing. Market-led marketing increases demand by focusing on consumer needs and adapting products and strategies to meet market preferences. Product-led marketing increases demand by prioritizing product quality and innovation, attracting customers who value superior features. Asset-led marketing increases demand by leveraging a business's strengths, such as brand reputation or technological expertise, to create competitive advantage. A business decides the marketing approach they are going to take based on factors such as market research, competition, product nature, and available resources. The marketing approach a business takes affects demand by determining how effectively it engages with consumers and meets their needs, influencing purchasing decisions. Income elasticity of demand is a measure of how the quantity demanded of a good changes in response to a change in consumer income. Income elasticity of demand is significant to firms because it helps them predict how changes in income levels affect sales and allows them to adjust production and pricing strategies accordingly. Income elasticity of demand is calculated by dividing the percentage change in quantity demanded by the percentage change in income. A positive income elasticity of demand means that demand increases as income rises, which is typical for normal goods. A negative income elasticity of demand means that demand decreases as income rises, which is characteristic of inferior goods. An income elasticity of demand greater than 1 indicates that the good is a luxury, meaning demand increases more than proportionally to income changes. An income elasticity of demand between 0 and 1 indicates that the good is a necessity, meaning demand increases at a lower rate than income growth. The factors that influence income elasticity of demand include the nature of the good, the level of income, availability of substitutes, and consumer preferences. The nature of the good influences income elasticity of demand because luxuries tend to have a higher elasticity while necessities have a lower elasticity. The level of income influences income elasticity of demand because higher income consumers spend a smaller proportion of additional income on necessities, making luxury goods more income elastic. The availability of substitutes influences income elasticity of demand because products with many alternatives may see greater fluctuations in demand as incomes change. Consumer preferences influence income elasticity of demand because changes in tastes and trends can affect how people allocate their income across different products. Firms' success and living standards in the economy depend on increasing productive efficiency, which is achieved when an economy or business produces goods and services at the lowest possible cost using the least amount of resources. Productivity is the measure of output per unit of input in a given time period, reflecting how efficiently resources are used. The factors that influence productivity include technology, worker skills, investment in capital, management practices, and infrastructure. Technology influences productivity by enabling faster and more efficient production processes. Worker skills influence productivity by improving the quality and efficiency of work through training and expertise. Investment in capital influences productivity by providing businesses with better machinery and equipment to enhance output. Management practices influence productivity by ensuring efficient organization, motivation, and coordination of resources. Infrastructure influences productivity by improving transport, communication, and access to essential services that support business operations. The link between productivity and competitiveness is that higher productivity reduces costs and increases efficiency, allowing businesses to offer low prices and better quality, making them more competitive. The link between productivity and wages is that higher productivity enables businesses to generate more revenue, which can lead to higher wages, while higher wages can incentivize workers to be more productive. The link between productivity and economic growth is that increased productivity leads to higher output and efficiency, driving economic expansion, while economic growth encourages investment in productivity-enhancing factors. Labor-intensive production is a method of production where businesses rely more on human labor than machinery to produce goods and services. A business would use labor-intensive production when labor is cheaper or more flexible than investing in expensive machinery. Labor-intensive production influences productivity by making it more dependent on worker efficiency, training, and working conditions, which can vary in effectiveness. Capital-intensive production is a method of production where businesses rely more on machinery and technology than human labor. A business would use capital-intensive production when automation and machinery can reduce long-term costs and improve efficiency. Capital-intensive production influences productivity by increasing efficiency and output per worker through the use of advanced technology and equipment. Capacity utilization is the percentage of a business's total possible output that is actually being produced. Full capacity is when a business is producing at its maximum possible output with all resources fully utilized. The benefits of operating at full capacity include lower average costs and higher efficiency, while the drawbacks include increased wear on machinery and a lack of flexibility to meet sudden increases in demand. Spare capacity is when a business is operating below its maximum possible output, meaning some resources are not fully utilized. The benefits of having spare capacity include greater flexibility and reduced pressure on resources, while the drawbacks include higher average costs and low profitability. Capacity utilization is calculated by dividing current output by maximum possible output and multiplying by 100 to express it as a percentage. Underutilization of capacity occurs when a business is not using all its available resources efficiently, leading to spare capacity. The implications of underutilization include higher average costs, reduced profitability, lower employee motivation, and potential damage to a business's reputation. Higher average costs reduce competitiveness because businesses may have to charge higher prices to cover fixed costs. Reduced profitability limits a business's ability to invest in growth or innovation. Lower employee motivation can arise due to underuse of skills, leading to decreased productivity. Potential damage to a business's reputation may occur if customers perceive inefficiency or declining product quality. Overutilization occurs when a business is operating beyond its normal capacity, leading to excessive strain on resources. The implications of overutilization include increased risk of equipment failure, higher employee stress levels, reduced product quality, and limited ability to respond to sudden demand changes. Increased risk of equipment failure can result in costly downtime and repair expenses. Higher employee stress levels may lead to lower productivity and increased absenteeism. Reduced product quality can result in customer dissatisfaction and potential loss of sales. Limited ability to respond to sudden demand changes means the business may struggle to meet unexpected orders or market shifts. The methods of improving capacity utilization include increasing demand, reducing capacity, outsourcing, and improving efficiency. Increasing demand can be achieved through marketing strategies or product diversification, allowing the business to use more of its available capacity. Reducing capacity involves scaling down operations or selling underused assets to align capacity with actual demand. Outsourcing allows a business to transfer excess production to external suppliers, reducing strain on internal resources. Improving efficiency through better staff training or investment in technology can help a business maximize its output without increasing costs. Lean production is a business approach that focuses on minimizing waste while maintaining high productivity and quality. Lean production improves efficiency by reducing waste, streamlining processes, and ensuring resources are used effectively. Lean production improves competitiveness by lowering costs, increasing productivity, and enhancing product quality, allowing businesses to offer better value to customers. Quality management is the process of ensuring products and services meet customer expectations and includes quality control, quality assurance, and total quality management. Quality control is the process of inspecting finished products to identify and eliminate defects before they reach customers. Quality control improves efficiency by reducing waste from defective products and improves competitiveness by maintaining customer satisfaction and brand reputation. Quality assurance is a proactive approach where quality is built into production processes to prevent defects rather than detecting them afterwards. Quality assurance improves efficiency by reducing errors and rework and improves competitiveness by ensuring consistent product quality and reliability. Total quality management is a business-wide commitment to continuous improvement involving all employees in maintaining high-quality standards. Total quality management improves efficiency by fostering a culture of continuous improvement and improves competitiveness by enhancing customer satisfaction and brand loyalty. Kaizen is the concept of continuous improvement where small, incremental changes are made regularly to improve efficiency and quality. A business would use Kaizen to enhance productivity, reduce waste, and create a culture of continuous development among employees. Kaizen improves efficiency by identifying and eliminating inefficiencies and improves competitiveness by enhancing product quality and reducing costs. Just-in-case management of stock is a system where businesses maintain buffer stock to ensure they can meet unexpected demand or supply chain disruptions. A business would use just-in-case management of stock to reduce the risk of stockouts and maintain consistent production and sales. Just-in-case management of stock influences efficiency by preventing production delays, but may reduce competitiveness due to higher storage costs and potential wastage. Just-in-time management of stock is a system where stock is ordered and received only when needed, minimizing storage costs and waste. A business would use just-in-time management of stock to improve cash flow, reduce storage costs, and minimize waste. Just-in-time management of stock improves efficiency by reducing the need for large storage facilities and improves competitiveness by lowering costs and increasing responsiveness to demand. Lean production provides a competitive advantage by reducing costs, improving efficiency, enhancing quality, and enabling businesses to respond quickly to customer needs. The impact of lean management on average costs is that it reduces waste, improves efficiency, and lowers production expenses, leading to lower overall costs. Lean management minimizes waste of resources by streamlining processes, reducing unnecessary inventory, and ensuring materials and labor are used efficiently. Lean management leads to short product development lead times by eliminating delays, improving workflow, and ensuring quick responses to market demands. This leads to a competitive advantage by enabling businesses to reduce costs, improve product quality, and quickly adapt to customer needs. The benefit of having this as a competitive advantage is that it allows businesses to offer lower prices, increase profitability, and strengthen their market position.
Globalization has given firms many new opportunities to trade and to contribute to economic development. Globalization is the process where economies, societies, and cultures become increasingly interconnected through trade, investment, and technology. The characteristics of globalization include increased investment flows, world trade rising as a proportion of world GDP, and increased migration. Increased investment flows occur when businesses and individuals invest capital across borders, leading to greater economic integration. World trade rising as a proportion of world GDP means that a growing share of global economic output is driven by international trade rather than domestic production. Increased migration happens when people move between countries for work, education, or better living conditions, contributing to cultural exchange and economic growth. The factors that have contributed to globalization in the last 50 years include trade liberalization, capital market liberalization, political change resulting in the opening up of China and the former Soviet Union, reduced cost of transport and communications, and the increased significance of global companies. Trade liberalization involves the removal of tariffs, quotas, and other trade barriers, making it easier for goods and services to move across borders. Capital market liberalization refers to the relaxation of restrictions on financial flows, allowing businesses and individuals to invest internationally with fewer constraints. Political change resulting in the opening up of China and the former Soviet Union has integrated these large economies into the global market, increasing trade and investment opportunities. Reduced cost of transport and communications has made it cheaper and faster to move goods, people, and information across the world, facilitating economic globalization. The increased significance of global companies means that multinational corporations operate across multiple countries, influencing trade patterns, employment, and economic development on a worldwide scale. A developed economy is one where there is high industrialization, advanced technological infrastructure, and a high standard of living. An emerging economy is one where rapid industrialization and economic growth occur, but infrastructure, income levels, and market maturity are still developing. A developing economy is one where there is low industrialization, limited infrastructure, and lower income levels, leading to a lower standard of living. Each of these economic classifications means different levels of participation in globalization, with developed economies leading trade and investment, emerging economies expanding their global influence, and developing economies often relying on external support. The UK has experienced steady but slow economic growth since 2000 due to its mature market, high-income economy, and strong integration into global trade networks. BRIC consists of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Brazil's economy has grown moderately since 2000 due to its reliance on commodities, with fluctuations in global demand affecting its integration into global markets. Russia's economy has experienced uneven growth since 2000 due to its dependence on oil and gas exports, with sanctions and political instability affecting its globalization. India has had high economic growth since 2000 due to its expanding service and technology sectors, leading to increased global trade and investment. China has experienced rapid economic growth since 2000 due to its manufacturing dominance, large-scale exports, and strong government investment in infrastructure and global trade. The indicators of growth include GDP per capita, literacy rates, health standards, and the Human Development Index. GDP per capita measures a country's total economic output per person, affecting globalization by indicating market potential and economic strength. Literacy rates measure the percentage of literate individuals in a population, affecting globalization by determining workforce skill levels and productivity. Health standards indicate the overall well-being of a population, affecting globalization by influencing labor efficiency and economic sustainability. The Human Development Index combines income, education, and life expectancy, affecting globalization by showing a country's development level and attractiveness for trade and investment. The characteristics of a developed economy include high income levels, advanced infrastructure, diversified industries, and strong institutions. Each of these characteristics means developed economies are major players in globalization, leading in trade, investment, and innovation while influencing global economic policies. The characteristics of an emerging economy include rapid industrialization, growing income levels, increasing foreign investment, and expanding infrastructure. Each of these characteristics means emerging economies are becoming more integrated into globalization, contributing to international trade and attracting multinational businesses. The characteristics of a developing economy include low income, limited infrastructure, reliance on agriculture, and weak institutions. Each of these characteristics means developing economies face barriers to globalization, relying on foreign aid, limited trade participation, and slower economic progress. Mean income is the average income of a population, calculated by dividing total earnings by the number of people. Median income is the middle income in a population, where half earn more and half earn less. Globalization affects mean and median incomes by influencing wage distribution, increasing income gaps in some regions while providing new economic opportunities in others. International trade is the exchange of goods and services between countries. International trade affects globalization by increasing economic interdependence and facilitating the movement of goods, services, capital, and technology across borders. Globalization affects international trade by expanding markets, reducing trade barriers, and encouraging competition between businesses worldwide. Specialization is the process where countries or businesses focus on producing goods and services they are most efficient at. Specialization impacts international trade by increasing efficiency, reducing costs, and encouraging countries to trade to obtain goods they do not produce. Trading blocs are groups of countries that form agreements to reduce or eliminate trade barriers between member states. The different types of trading blocs are free trade areas, customs unions, common markets, and economic unions. A free trade area removes tariffs and trade restrictions between member countries, increasing trade flows but allowing each country to set its own external tariffs. A customs union removes trade barriers between member countries and establishes a common external tariff, ensuring uniform trade policies but reducing national control over trade agreements. A common market allows free movement of goods, services, capital, and labor between member countries, increasing economic integration but requiring regulatory alignment. An economic union combines all elements of a common market with harmonized economic policies, leading to deeper integration but reducing national economic sovereignty. International trade affects the growth of an economy by increasing access to larger markets, boosting production, and creating employment opportunities. Growth impacts international trade by increasing demand for imports, enhancing production for exports, and attracting foreign investment. The difference between an import and an export is that an import is a good or service brought into a country from abroad, while an export is a good or service sold to another country. Visible imports and exports are physical goods traded between countries, such as cars and food. Invisible imports and exports are services traded internationally, such as banking, tourism, and insurance. These factors affect international trade by determining a country's trade balance, influencing currency value, and shaping economic policies. The impact of cheap imports on standards of living is that they lower prices for consumers, increasing purchasing power and access to a wider variety of goods. Exchange rates are the value of one currency in terms of another currency. The supply and demand for pounds are created through international trade, investment flows, and speculative activities in foreign exchange markets. The pound appreciates when demand for it increases or supply decreases, and it depreciates when demand falls or supply rises. The positives of an appreciation of the pound include cheaper imports, lower inflation, and increased purchasing power for consumers, and the negative impacts of an appreciation of the pound include reduced export competitiveness, a potential trade deficit, and slower economic growth. The positives of a depreciation of the pound include increased export competitiveness, higher domestic demand, and potential economic growth, and the negative impacts of a depreciation of the pound include more expensive imports, higher inflation, and reduced consumer purchasing power. To interpret exchange rate data, calculate the percentage change by subtracting the original exchange rate from the new exchange rate, then dividing by the original exchange rate. For example, if the pound appreciates from 1.20 to 1.30 against the US dollar, the percentage change is open parenthesis 1.30 minus 1.20 close parenthesis divided by 1.20 is equal to 0.0833 or 8.33%. Conversely, if the pound depreciates from 1.30 to 1.20 against the US dollar, the percentage change is open parenthesis 1.20 minus 1.30 close parenthesis divided by 1.30 is equal to minus 0.0769 or minus 7.69%. Effective exchange rates are a weighted average of a country's currency value compared to a basket of foreign currencies, reflecting its overall strength in international trade. Effective exchange rates are measured by weighting the exchange rates of a country's major trading partners based on their share in trade, then calculating the weighted average to determine the currency's overall performance. What makes an exchange rate effective is its ability to accurately reflect the economic conditions of a country, including supply and demand, inflation, and interest rates. The economic cycle is the natural fluctuation of economic activity over time, measured by changes in real GDP and other indicators such as employment and spending. The stages of the economic cycle are boom, recession, slump, and recovery, with extension strategies used to prolong periods of growth and delay decline. During a boom, economic activity is at its peak where firms experience high demand, increased profits, and may expand production or invest in new projects. During a recession, economic growth slows where firms face falling demand, reduce sales, and may cut costs or postpone investments. During a slump, the economy reaches its lowest point where firms struggle with low demand, excess capacity, and potential closures or redundancies. During a recovery, economic activity begins to rise where firms see improving demand, increasing profits, and may start to reinvest and rehire workers. The circular flow of income is the continuous movement of money between households and firms where households provide factors of production to firms and receive income in return, then spend that income on goods and services, creating a cycle of economic activity. Injections into the circular flow of income are additions of money to the economy where the different types are investment, government spending, and exports, and their impact is to increase income, employment, and overall economic growth. Withdrawals from the circular flow of income are leakages of money from the economy where the different types are savings, taxes, and imports, and their impact is to reduce income, spending, and overall economic activity. The factors influencing aggregate demand are consumption, investment, government spending, and net exports represented by the formula C plus I plus G plus X Lem. Consumption is the total spending by households on goods and services where an increase raises demand and boosts the circular flow of income. Investment is the spending by firms on capital goods where higher investment increases production capacity and stimulates the circular flow of income. Government spending is the expenditure by the state on goods, services, and welfare where increased spending injects more money into the circular flow of income. Exports are goods and services sold abroad where higher exports bring money into the economy and strengthen the circular flow of income, while imports are goods and services bought from abroad where higher imports withdraw money and weaken the circular flow of income. The factors influencing aggregate supply are changes in the cost of inputs and resources or changes in productivity. Changes in the cost of inputs and resources affect how much firms can produce where rising costs reduce output and slow the circular flow of income, while falling costs increase supply and stimulate it. Changes in productivity influence how efficiently resources are used where higher productivity increases output and strengthens the circular flow of income, while lower productivity decreases output and weakens it. Inflation is the sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over time. Deflation is the sustained decrease in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over time. Disinflation is the slowing down of the rate of inflation where prices continue to rise but at a lower rate than before. Price indices such as the Retail Price Index, RPI, and the Consumer Price Index, CPI, are measures used to track changes in the average price level of a basket of goods and services over time. Price indices are interpreted by comparing percentage changes over periods where a rising index indicates inflation and a falling index indicates deflation. The rate of inflation is calculated by measuring the percentage change in a price index from one period to another. Real values are figures adjusted for inflation where they show the true purchasing power of money over time. Nominal values are figures that have not been adjusted for inflation where they reflect the current monetary value. The difference between real and nominal values is that real values show the effect of inflation while nominal values do not. Constant prices are prices that have been adjusted for inflation to show values in real terms over time. Current prices are prices that have not been adjusted for inflation and represent the actual prices paid at the time. The difference between constant and current prices is that constant prices measure real changes in output or income while current prices include the effects of inflation. The causes of inflation are demand pull and cost push factors. Demand pull inflation occurs when aggregate demand exceeds aggregate supply where higher spending leads to rising prices. Cost push inflation occurs when production costs such as wages or raw materials increase where firms raise prices to maintain profits. The difference between demand pull and cost push inflation is that demand pull arises from excess demand while cost push comes from rising production costs. The impact of inflation on firms includes uncertainty where unpredictable price rises make planning and investment decisions more difficult. The impact of inflation on firms also includes loss of international competitiveness where rising domestic prices make exports more expensive and less attractive to foreign buyers. The impact of inflation on individuals includes loss of real income where rising prices reduce purchasing power and the standard of living. The impact of inflation on individuals also includes effects on savers and borrowers where savers lose out as the value of their savings falls while borrowers benefit as the real value of their debt decreases. Employment is the state where people of working age are engaged in paid work that contributes to the production of goods and services in an economy. Underemployment is the situation where workers are employed but not in jobs that fully use their skills, hours, or potential productivity. Unemployment is the condition where people who are able and willing to work are without a job and actively seeking employment. The measures of unemployment are the claimant count and the International Labour Organization (ILO) measure. The claimant count measures unemployment by counting the number of people claiming government unemployment benefits. The International Labour Organization (ILO) measure defines unemployment as people without work who are available to start within 2 weeks and have actively sought work in the past 4 weeks. The causes of unemployment include structural unemployment, occupational immobility, geographical immobility, technological unemployment, and demand deficiency or cyclical unemployment. Structural unemployment occurs when industries decline and workers' skills no longer match the jobs available. Occupational immobility arises when workers cannot easily switch jobs because their skills or training do not suit other types of work. Geographical immobility happens when workers are unable or unwilling to move to areas where jobs are available. Technological unemployment results when automation or innovation replaces human labor with machines or software. Demand deficiency and cyclical unemployment occur when a fall in aggregate demand leads to reduced output and job losses across the economy. The impact of unemployment on firms is reduced consumer spending, which lowers demand for goods and services and discourages business investment. The impact of unemployment on individuals is loss of income and self-esteem, which can lead to lower living standards and financial hardship. Economic policies focus on stabilization and standards of living, but controversy and debate may influence the outcome. The possible macroeconomic objectives are economic growth, low unemployment, a low and stable rate of inflation, and balance of payments equilibrium on the current account. Economic growth is the increase in the productive capacity of an economy and is achieved through higher investment, improved technology, and increased consumer and government spending. Low unemployment is where most people who are willing and able to work can find jobs and is achieved through policies that stimulate demand and encourage job creation. A low and stable rate of inflation is where the general price level rises slowly and predictably and is achieved through effective monetary policy and control of the money supply. Balance of payments equilibrium on the current account is where the value of exports equals the value of imports over time and is achieved through increasing international competitiveness and maintaining a stable exchange rate. The different policy instruments that can affect macroeconomic objectives are fiscal policy, monetary policy, supply-side policies, and exchange rate policy. Fiscal policy is the adjustment of levels of government spending and taxation to affect aggregate demand. The nature and impact of fiscal policy on the economy is that changes in government spending and taxation influence aggregate demand, economic growth, and inflation. The nature and impact of fiscal policy on firms is that tax changes affect production costs and profitability, which influence investment decisions and employment. The nature and impact of fiscal policy on economic agents is that changes in direct taxation alter disposable income, which affects consumption and living standards. Monetary policy is the adjustment of interest rates to affect aggregate demand. The nature and impact of monetary policy on the economy is that interest rate changes influence borrowing, spending, and inflation. The nature and impact of monetary policy on firms is that changes in interest rates alter the cost of borrowing, which affects investment and production decisions. The nature and impact of monetary policy on economic agents is that interest rate changes affect mortgage repayments, savings returns, and consumption choices. Supply-side policies are taxes, benefits, education and training, grants and subsidies, and infrastructure. The nature and impact of supply-side policies on the economy is that they increase productivity and potential output, which leads to long-term economic growth. The nature and impact of supply-side policies on firms is that lower taxes and subsidies reduce business costs while improved infrastructure supports efficiency. The nature and impact of supply-side policies on economic agents is that education and training improve skills, which increase employability and income. Exchange rate policy is the management of a country's currency value in the foreign exchange market. The nature and impact of exchange rate policy on the economy is that changes in the exchange rate affect export and import prices, which influence the balance of payments and aggregate demand. The nature and impact of exchange rate policy on firms is that a depreciation increases competitiveness for exporters but raises costs for import-dependent firms. The nature and impact of exchange rate policy on economic agents is that exchange rate movements affect the prices of imported goods, which influence purchasing power and living costs. The potential conflict and trade-off between inflation and unemployment is that policies designed to reduce unemployment often increase inflation, while policies to reduce inflation can cause higher unemployment. The potential conflict and trade-off between economic growth and negative externalities is that policies promoting growth can increase production and consumption, leading to greater environmental damage and social costs. The issues governments face in managing the macroeconomy are balancing economic stability and growth, because interventions to promote growth can create inflationary pressure or worsen inequality. The issues governments face in managing the macroeconomy are reducing public debt and maintaining fiscal responsibility, because austerity policies can restrict growth and increase unemployment. The issues governments face in managing the macroeconomy are controlling inflation, because raising interest rates to reduce inflation can also discourage investment and consumer spending. The Keynesian perspective influences macroeconomic policy decisions by promoting government intervention to stabilize demand and reduce unemployment. The monetarist perspective influences macroeconomic policy decisions by prioritizing control of the money supply to manage inflation and ensure long-term stability. The supply-side perspective influences macroeconomic policy decisions by encouraging production and investment through tax cuts and deregulation to drive growth and reduce unemployment. The likely effects of interest rate cuts on unemployment are an increase in borrowing and spending that can boost employment, but they may also lead to inflation and asset bubbles as unintended consequences. The likely effects of higher taxation on inflation are reduced consumer spending that may lower inflation, but they may unintentionally discourage investment and reduce economic growth. Thank you for watching this video on the wider economic environment. I'll see you in the next one.